Loners, man, subscribe to join the club. We got Goresh's Threat of 13 Dokkan hot takes. This is from his summoning video yesterday for Hirudekan and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He did a trivia style segment where it was multiple choice, and every time he got one wrong when pulling a featured unit, he would have to post a hot take. So we got a neat little thread here, joining the bandwagon and reacting to some of them. Let's get into it. The hidden potential system needs to be revamped ASAP. With a lot of recent units having most mechanics built into their kits already, a lot of the buffs from the hidden potential system don't feel even half as powerful as they were when the system originally dropped. And this is pretty true, man. As early as I started playing, which was around... not here. It was around here. God Goku. God Goku just does so much, doesn't he? Like, when I first started playing, I think the first unit I ever pulled that was an LR was Vegeta and Trunks. I knew nothing of the game. I popped in. This was coming, or this was happening, and I was like, hell yeah, Super Saiyan God Goku looks awesome. I'm gonna pull this card, and I went for him. He just does it all, man. Evades here with 3 or more obtained. Guards here with 6 obtained. Orb changes, which obviously you can't do orb change in the hidden potential system, but why not? Honestly, why can't I spend all of my dupes to do something powerful like that at this point in the game, in this point in Dokkan? Why are we still limited to guarding, additionals, crits, and dodging, when characters are typically coming out with so many mechanics that it's usually never worth it to actually put points, a majority of your points, into 2 of them? It's typically just worth it to dump into dodge. Dodge is so overpowered. Dodge is, I mean, I don't even do this because I'm not someone who can get dupes. I don't have a lot of, duplicates, and I don't spend a lot of money on the game. I don't spend really anything on the game. So this is just something so desirable that would even incentivize people who don't pull on every banner to start. Imagine if this was more like an ARPG system where there was a tree that mattered. But number 2, a summon animation skip button is more badly needed than any gameplay functionality adjustment change. I mean, I could see how this could be true for someone like Goresh, someone like True, someone like Toonrami maybe. You're just summoning so much, such a density of summons. But for me personally, I would like to see more summon animations, period. I think if they change this to be more engaging, I know like Legend, people are tired of it in Legends, people are tired of it in Dokkan, but I don't know. Summoning is exciting in Gacha when you're not like a whale who's just pulling for rainbow units every single time, and I know that sucks for the people who are, but the wider player base is not made up of whales, so I don't see this being the most needed thing. There's such a thing as too much content. Dokkan is a game that is not designed to be played for hours and hours every single day. For every person who complains that there is not enough content, there are probably 10 people who think there is too much. This is wrong. I'm gonna move my mic here. This is wrong. I played about 2 years of Epic 7 when it first came out. Epic 7 is a game that has PvE, which it favors. It has PvP, which it favors. When I first started, it only had an arena mode where you fought functionally AI defensive teams that other players set up. As it went on, it introduced RTA, which is something like a Pokemon-style team battle that is PvP. RTA stands for real-time arena. Summoner's War is a game like that, I believe, and I think Epic 7 lifted a lot of its concepts from Summoner's Wars. Epic 7 made less money than Dokkan last year, I believe. Epic 7 looks great. It is probably the best gacha I've played that's not Dokkan visually. Like, I just love the anime style of it. I love the character models. I love the insert anime cut-in inserts. There is no reason, genuinely, that gacha games in 2024 shouldn't be playable for however long I want. And the reason I say this isn't because Dokkan isn't designed to be played for hours and every single day. It's that Dokkan is functionally beatable. This goes back to that thread that Issa made forever ago, where it's like, Dokkan has a problem in that you can't just take any unit into any event and succeed. It's not how it's built. The game's not deep enough for that. The 9th anniversary happened, and we have a bunch of content stages. It doesn't matter what characters at all, period, they introduce on Global. Until the 9th anniversary happens, Global is dead. It's a dead server. The reason that has nothing to do with characters. People always say that pulling characters is content. That's perfectly true. My account, though, I could not pull until the 10th anniversary, and my account would have things to do on it because I would be able to try all of my characters against so much of the content that's coming out in a few months when the 9th drops on Global. There legitimately is too much money being spent on Dokkan to say this to me, because I watch Epic 7. Even if I remove the entire PvP aspect of Epic 7, it has a raid system, it has a grinding system with like bosses, it has weekly bosses, it has daily, it just has all of these things that are farmable and you can engage with. And guess what? If you don't want to engage with them, you can choose to put your phone down. This idea that there's too much content in something that you can just put your phone down in, I mean, come on, man. Like, maybe you could shrink content in Dokkan, remove some of the things that have since become unnecessary. I can see that being a thing, but Dokkan definitely doesn't have enough content. I'll tell you that right now. Even on JP, it doesn't have enough content. Let's be really honest. Like, you can tell when even people like the Truth start getting into those, like, oh, there's nothing going on, and I have to make showcases of Raditz. Like, let's not act like this game is farmable. Like, it's really not. You can literally beat Dokkan, and have nothing to do until a big major celebration happens, which is like once every 6 months. No, I don't think so. I saw Truth back this up. I don't think so. I think it's wrong. I think it's just wrong. There's no problem with ever having just more content. They should, with how much money Dokkan makes, with how much money Honkai Star Rail makes, which is much more, I believe. Dokkan and Legends account for 45% of Bamco's revenue. Was the statistic? Yeah. I'm sorry. They can put out content. I think they're gonna be fine. I think they get paid enough. I'm not standing up for big company. Put content out. There's too steep of a learning curve for newer players in Dokkan. Opening a unit's detail screen and being greeted by 4 tabs of paragraphs, transformations, 9 different conditions, links, categories, etc. turn me off the game from a new player. The game is mechanically bloated, which is not surprising after 9 years, but something should be done to help new players ease into the game. Yeah, I can see that. Dokkan clearly has an issue with displaying its information. When I started, I hand to God, I had such trouble figuring out how to easy A free-to-play units. I couldn't get it into my head just looking at guides of people doing it. Like, I need 14 because I need 9 for the super attacks, and then I need 5, 1 of the actual character, 4 for hidden potentials, yada yada yada. Like this, before you even start thinking about using the characters, you have so much bloat to even interact with the systems. This could be slimmed down for sure. Hopefully, maybe something like it seems like they wanted to do stuff for new players coming into the sync from the roadmap and such. So maybe it's something they're gonna work on. Is just interfacing with new players more. I mean, Dokkan seems like it's going to go forever, so. No matter how much Dokkan pushes actual content, the collection aspect of the game will always retain more importance than the functionality of units and events. My counterpoint to this is, if you want a collection game, buy cards. I'll just say, I mean, it's physical. when someone makes a game, when someone puts something in this digital space, you actually do need to make a game. I don't want. I'm so tired of Dragon Ball as a franchise. As someone who loves Dragon Ball is probably my favorite anime media property. I'm so tired of Dragon Ball getting this bad. Dragon Ball makes so much money off of its name, off of the franchise history, off of the mysticism Dragon Ball has cemented in not only anime culture, but the subculture of shonen and the wider culture of the fucking world. Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle needs to make content that the units can interface with. Because no whale is paying $5,000 for these pixels that they can't fuck. I mean, at least when someone plays Honkai Star Rail, they can open up their favorite tab and start going away at it to their waifu. I got into Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle because I saw the cool animations last year. And I was like, it was because of Sparking Zero's announcement. I saw the animation. It's like, oh, I just want something Dragon Ball related to tide me over. And if this was not a Dragon Ball IP, I would never be here. This game needs to be so much better. And I say this as someone who, even when Global was getting fucked last year, even when the units all sucked, I was like, oh, hell yeah, Turles looks so cool. Super 17 looks so cool. I love these units. I love these characters from the show that I love. I don't have any... When people say, I want Dragon Ball, DKP, and Kid Goku, I go, hell yeah, it's awesome. I love these characters. But I want something to do with those characters. I don't want to put them in a digital box. The digital print means literally nothing. This is not. It's not. This is NFT. This is bordering on NFTs. This doesn't mean anything. An official way for Dokkan to be played on PC. Yes, absolutely. Let's get a PC port going. It would be so. It would be so much easier to make content and shit for this. Support memory should only contain scenes that have absolutely no chance of being included as parts of obtainable units in the future. Yes, I could see it, but there's no reason they can't be both. As we've seen with like the 9th anniversary, animation's always getting better. They could definitely redo a lot of stuff. Piccolo placing a hand on Goku, like the goodbye or whatever for the Savior's memory. Majin Vegeta, etc., etc. So you can just show back up. It's fine. Tier lists are nearly meaningless and only serve to garner attention. They provide almost no valuable information whatsoever, but are still more valuable than Legends tier lists. I play a lot of fighting games. I play so many fighting games. This is true. In the world of fighting games, you could make the argument that tier lists have a place, obviously. Much more likely, what matters in a fighting game are matchup charts. Those have since gone away because of hype elements, basically. It is more valuable to just make tier lists and bait for engagement. That said, a game like Dokkan does not need this. Outside of just a general guide of like, this unit is here in this tier, and all the other units in this tier are also strong. This just goes back to Dokkan isn't complicated enough with its content to have tier lists matter. When Dokkan decides to step up its content, which it will, by the way, it seems like it is, and give players more things to do, we might see more of this. Things like Epic 7 need tier lists to show you how well these characters do in different aspects. In Epic 7, you might need to farm gear from the Wyvern, and you need water types, typically, to fight the Wyvern. So it might show you the best water types in that class if you have them in your box to beat the Wyvern on a team. Whereas Dokkan, it's like, oh, well, here we go. We're just going to use like the 4 strongest units in the game and then bring along 1 extra character and call it a showcase, right? Like, Dokkan needs more, man. Dokkan needs way more before we start getting into tier list season. Every mode in the game should serve some sort of purpose that differentiates itself from every other game mode. If there's little or no distinction between 2 modes, one of them should be removed or they should be combined. Yeah. One thing about Dokkan currently is that a lot of these modes are tertiary. They just seem like screens for the sake of screens. Seems like they made the assets and they don't want to get rid of them. More so than balance, it's way more important that each premium unit, Dokkan Fest, Summonable LR, has its own form of identity. Each unit should feel unique to use. and have a playstyle associated with them. I feel that over the past year and a half or so, this has been lost as most units come with a standard package of common abilities. I know Truth had some things to say about this because of a game like Legends. A PvP game will obviously have more use cases for niche units. That's just how it is. That said, gotta keep talking about Epic 7. Gotta talk about Honkai. PvE games can have this. PvE games can marry the idea of unique playstyles and interesting kits. When I see games like Dokkan, like, okay, before the 9th anniversary actually happened, I had this idea in my head that Beast Gohan was going to be a counter unit who did the everyone attack me active, and then he was going to do that thing from the movie where he gets punched and then he pushes the hand down and kicks Cell in the stomach. The it's my turn moment. Like, I know what you're saying is like, well, that'd just be strong. Yeah, it would. You can make them strong and also give them niche things that relate back to the series they're from. Frieza, who released recently, First Form Frieza released recently, he's not bad because his kit's bad. He's really cool. He's really interesting. You know, the Frieza Force come out. He needs all of his boys with him. That's clearly the Frieza army tie-in. But we don't have units to use alongside him. It's okay that he's built like that so long as they release help. Which is why I go back to the point of these large content droughts for how much money Dokkan made. I'd really like to see how pay is divided from top to bottom in Dokkan with like licensing and stuff, because the game makes so much money. It's so weird how on the back foot it feels, because issues that Truth has with stuff like this wouldn't exist if the characters just didn't have gaps in their teams, like Zamasu healing a bunch and stuff, like the regenerative, you think of like the regenerative power of gods, or like the Majin characters healing because they're regenerating, stuff like that. It's like, it's really small, but you can create play styles and team builds around that, so long as you have other characters. I made the point before, but as a free-to-play player, there's no reason to ever summon for any villain character from a pure value standpoint. Superclass teams will always have the superior roster and synergy until every villain link set is revamped. I don't have much to say about this. This is true. I still summon on villains from here to there, but they have to be really good. Mostly you should just pull villains on like anniversary banners and stuff. It is what it is. Characters with the same name should be able to link with each other, but the exact same character should not have that ability, i.e. a leader plus friend unit rotation of the same character should not be able to link. Yep. There's no reason for this not to be the case. With Dokkan is it now, it just helps with a lot of problems. You think about Zamasu, you think about the Super Saiyan 3s that came out recently, both Strength Super Saiyan 3 and Super Easy A Super Saiyan 3. Saying trying to give out rewards for hitting top grossing in the app Play Store was a mistake. I don't know that much about this, but I mean, yeah, I don't really see this happen a ton in other games. I can't remember this happening much in E7. Sometimes you'll get a thank you, but that's typically for like anniversaries and big events. Yeah, these are Goresh's takes. I think I have a very modern viewpoint on a lot of these. I think Goresh and I could be wrong. I think Goresh and Truth are older than myself, but it seems they value things that I don't as much. I value strictly gameplay. Like, I'm so on the side of you need to make this game playable or I'm out. Yeah, I love Dokkan. I've had less things to complain about with Dokkan than probably anyone else in the world. If something with Dokkan happens, I'm usually just like, whatever. But if there's one thing I complain about, it's actually this right here. There is not enough content in Dokkan. There's no way there can be in like hours every single day. Like, there's actually nothing to do on Dokkan on average if you're not a content creator. It's so funny. I actually started doing this so I have more things in Dokkan to talk about, because like I said, there's like nothing. I would just leave the game idle during global, especially during the sync when we have literally nothing to do on global while we wait. Yeah, peace.